There is, I'm gonna speak for you more for a second. There is an addition to the minutes that Maura sent in, which has been included in the minutes by Molly, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was
Thank
one
you.
change.
Thank you.
And I think all of the board members got a copy of what Maura wanted added to
Correct.
it. Any other additions, corrections to the minutes?
No, we're good.
Do I have a motion to move?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then being none. Okay, good. We're moving this right along.
Yeah.
Okay. Committee reports. Let's talk with Deputy Supervisor Zemansky, and you will talk about not only the fly card responses, but what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
with,
our meetings.
yes. Let me do that first. On, September 21st, we had a very big community meeting here. I call it a community meeting because I don't know what else to call the work group. Guess it's the ambulance community work group. We had representation from every department in each village. That included the village administrators, police, fire, us, and our community advocates that are working with us that are experts in the field of EMS. It was a very productive meeting, and everyone was tasked with taking a small framework RFP we had, adding to it, deleting things, and sending it to me by last Wednesday. We got an extremely comprehensive draft from the Village of Pelham Fire Department as well as the Village of Pelham Administrator. And we got some other input also from the new Fire Chief Greco in Pelham Manor and our two consultants. So what will happen now is we will take those drafts and we will meet this Thursday, Rudy, myself, Dan, and maybe our two consultants. I think maybe they should come in and help us with it. As well as a representative of the Pelham Fire Department, only because they put so much work into it. Or Chris, whoever you prefer to
Well,
come.
Chris said he would do it by Zoom, if we
Okay,
do it.
okay.
But let's discuss the participants.
Okay.
Yes,
And that'll be this Thursday to work on that, as well as looking at the municipal certificate of need that would make us our own ambulance district, which has been recommended by our community consultants for a while. It looks like a simple application, but there may be background information and then supporting documentation that I'm gonna have to get from Rudy, statistics and things like that. So that will happen also on Thursday. I will bring that application since it's only 2 pages. So that's where we are.
What does that go to?
The
Like-
Muni application, Department of Health.
Department of Health.
Yeah, it's an
Oh,
article
oh,
like home
Artic-
health is an Article
Yes.
36.
Okay.
This is an Article 30.
Interesting.
So-
Okay.
So that is where we are on the ambulance services right now. So now it's gonna move quickly because the end of the year is coming
Okay.
up, and I will call Empress personally once the RFP is complete and ready to go out.
Okay.
So, any questions on that?
And just for the record, how would that change our status if we had our own district?
I think that it allows other companies to provide different kind of services if we're our own fire, if our own emergency district.
And
That's the
then-
way it's been explained to. Doesn't cost any money, and he thinks we'd get approved in 2 weeks.
Wow,
Because
fantastic.
they're looking, I think, for more communities to do this.
And to add to that, I have to say, the people that helped us with this have done a tremendous job. Actually,
Yes.
one of the outside consultants, when he read what the fire department sent in along with the village administrator, he said it was excellent.
Yes,
And he used to run ambulance districts in Rockland.
Rockland.
The reason we have to go through this is because no one will give us a quote or discuss it unless we have this out there publicly. And we were told that by one particular group, that they would love to give us a quote, but they need to have this in their hands first. So, that's what we're going to do, and I just want to make sure everybody understands. That doesn't mean after this is all over, that we're not gonna have Empress. We might end up still with Empress, okay? But we're making the effort to see what's out there.
But a different framework, different, so.
And we'd be able to, a different kind of contract?
Yes, there's a lot more to the contract, that it's much more specific and more data and access in there too.
Great.
It's updated, it's old, so it needed to be anyway. The other thing, before I give the stats that I'm working on, is an ethics policy. Within our manual, there are bits and pieces that speak to ethics and code of conduct, but they're not discrete, and it's really probably a very good thing for us to have as a discrete one, and a discrete code of conduct for everybody. Because you forget when you're out there that you're still representing even the town. So I'm working on that. Kristen's gonna give me some information, but I'm working with Rich Zuckerman at our outside council. And he hasn't found anything he likes very much, so maybe he'll fall in love with yours, Chris. So I was able to get the stats today for September. The average response time for the BLS backup the fly car was 9 minutes and 1 second. There were 46 calls in the village of Pelham, 21 calls in the village of Pelham Manor, none on 95, and 1 on the Hutch. And the response time for the fly car was 46%, 6 minutes or less. My God, 69%, 7 minutes or less. That's a little high, so I'll follow up with Scott, because it's usually more in the 5-minute range. So I'll see what happened there. And they did provide backup and ambulances at the football games. So Rec gave the schedule to Empress, and they took care of it. They were not at Tunerville Trolley. We didn't need them. We had the police department, the fire department.
They were at Tunaville.
Oh, they came?
Yes.
Well, our fly car was there.
Yes.
I
I'm
mean
sorry,
an
I'm
extra
sorry,
ambulance,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, our fly car was always gonna be there.
Yeah.
But an extra ambulance, which we thought we would need, but there was enough emergency personnel there not to need the ambulance. And that's it. Anybody have any questions?
The driver for the Opie came
Opie.
over to me and and Kristen to thank us for the new rig.
Oh,
So that was nice of him.
Very friendly.
So, okay. Any questions for?
I wanna put this to bed. It's hanging over my head, and I really wanna put this to bed, but we have to do it comprehensively in the right way, or else we'll be stuck in maybe a worse situation, and I don't wanna do that to the
Yeah.
town, so. I know it's been long, but we're getting there.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Councilwoman McLaughlin with an O. Recreation.
Just a report on the summer camps. The day camp brought in 174,000 with expenses of 69. The Tiny Tots had a revenue of 46,000 with expenses of 29,000. Tiny Tots had a revenue of 110,000 with expenses of 60,000. The clinics had a revenue of $206,000 with expenses of 134,000. For the summer, the revenue was 538,523 with expenses of $293,006 for a net profit of 245,517. So it was a very, very successful summer.
I think those are, that reminds me.
Those do not include overhead. Those are the
Basic.
There's a lot of
basics.
startups out there
Yes.
over the last few years that have
Exactly.
been reporting
Those,
numbers like
those
that.
numbers, the profits are explicit to
Okay.
The
I
employees
don't want anybody
hired
thinking
for-
we're a money
yes,
machine
no,
here.
absolutely not. Those are the overall, those are just the employees that were
That work there.
seasonal.
Yeah.
The number of students participating in after-school activities by school, last year and the years before, we were worried that the numbers at Hutchinson were down. They are right in there now with all the other schools. At Hutchinson's, there are 101 students, Colonial 102, Prospect 114, and Silonoy 107. And that's pretty much representative of how many kids in each. It's a little less than a third. So that's very exciting. For a total number of fall programs, which includes soccer, is 1,314 students across the town, which is pretty remarkable in a town this size. As for the senior citizen activities, we had 5 round trips for the van. There was a casino trip that had 56 people on the bus. Many of our Pelham residents brought friends. The meeting on 9/12 had 36, 9/19, 32, and 9/26 had 28. The exercise class is averaging 10 to 15 per class, and that meets 3 times a week. The card playing is roughly 8 to 10, 2 times a week, and bingo is 18 to 20 once a week. Supervisor McLaughlin and I met with the Recreation Department and representatives from the senior club, and they're coming back to us with a list of realistic things that they would like expanded. We have let them know that a center is probably not within our reach.
By the way, the chair who came to present to us posted on Facebook to all senior citizens in Pelham to join the club. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I
Okay,
did,
okay.
and both my husband and I are gonna join,
I can too, so.
That was,
because we're eligible according to the numbers.
that was discussed at the meeting.
Yes.
Following up with the recreation report, before the meeting started, the Westchester Magazine
Yes.
had the best places to live in Westchester, and one of them is Pelham, and it says family fun. And if you're looking for things to do, and it specifically calls out our recreation department. For families whose kids love sports, Pelham won't disappoint with youth leagues in basketball, tackle football, Little League, a youth hockey association, rugby, a community rowing association, lacrosse for boys and girls, cheerleading and karate offered by the town. That's not to mention camps such as the day camp run by the Pelham Recreation Department, offering sports, arts, crafts, and more. That's very nice.
It was a very,
And,
put our rec department in a great light,
yes. you
much
deserve it.
deserved.
And regarding the van, they're gonna come back to us and tell us what they would like to do, and we're gonna go back and figure out what we can do. So
Amazing.
that's what's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Listen, I think kudos to youth tackle too, because Pelham is 5-0 in football.
Exactly.
High school.
Okay,
A
so,
small community
Two
up
close
against the
games,
big
yeah.
guys.
so,
Huh?
Two real, like one overtime win and another like 14-7.
so if you want to start that, I just 7:05, my godson said, his son just scored 4 goals and assist against Pelham tonight.
Oh,
I enjoyed my time in Pelham recently. I just sent that at 7:05. He plays for Eastchester. Anyway,
What scored in what?
soccer, they played with soccer today. This kid is a very, my godson was a pitcher for Wesleyan, a baseball pitcher, and his 2 kids are very, very athletic, and he just wanted to rub it in just now.
That's nice. I attended the library meeting after our town meeting last month, and I did tell Augusta, the library director, about some of the needs of the seniors that they had expressed. She got in touch with Carolyn Vives and offered, they're talking about a book club, and they're talking about all the free passes that are available at the library to museums.
Right,
and
right,
museums
which we
and
haven't
stuff.
advertised in a while.
Right.
And and if we think it's possible, perhaps the van could, take them
Yes.
on trips
On a trip.
like those, because they're free.
See, we discussed that a little bit at the meeting, and one of the issues comes up, like, which place were they talking about going to? White Plains, was it?
Yes.
And that becomes not a half-hour trip. That becomes a 2-hour trip, and the van is out of.
Yeah.
Out of commission.
And
Out
the
of
staff
commission.
members with them
Yeah.
all day.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
But
the
we're-
issue.
We're gonna look at
We're
what's.
still gonna work that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we can do and can't do.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Burke on court and the legal.
Okay, so similar to Ray, I'm working on editing the constable handbook, which is very, very outdated, and some of the verbiage is, from a very long time ago. So I'm working on that and doing a red line of that. So Justice Kagan and Gardner gave me an update. Their expected revenues, they're expected to be up this year compared to this time last year. I don't have figures yet, like Kara. The new clerk, Deanna, has been clearing a backlog of old vehicle and traffic law cases, which were suspended during COVID. There was a very long line apparently last week. They had 181 cases last
Wow.
week versus 100, which is typical. So they said they're expecting that to clear up as they sort of work through all these cases. So, and they have their first jury trial, I guess, coming up in November for the first time in 3 years. And they're looking for a stenographer, and they're like asking if anybody knows a stenographer, which sounds crazy. I can't believe they can't find one, but he said to throw that out there.
I thought they did too.
I know. They were. I don't know. I will follow up with him, but he said throw that out there. I said, okay, well. Sort of separately, we have this high school student who's been working on helping us clear out the Durango. Apparently, she's made more progress. I haven't seen it, but she gives me updates. She's been going there and clearing and organizing up there, so we're gonna keep working on that.
No bodies found?
No, not yet, not yet. She hasn't been in the historian office yet, though. And then on the clean energy front, we've made a lot of progress. So our campaign for the clean heating and cooling was approved. I did a webinar, a Zoom the other day with the Sustainable Westchester and the clean energy people from Hudson Valley. So we're going to be eligible for grant money if we get some people, signed up and installed. We're going to get some points for some of the stuff we're doing. We also are doing benchmarking of our energy of all our buildings. Sam sat down with an individual named Tom White from the Village Sustainable Board, which was great. He came here. They're helping us figure out our
Energy usage.
energy usage, exactly. So we're going to be submitting that soon. So we have a little bit of work coming up, probably me and whoever else wants to help, where we're going to be notifying people in the community on webinars for the clean heating and cooling, doing some flyers and marketing. But they support us with all of this. Sustainable Westchester helps us make the flyers and everything. They just put our town logo on it and we go. So more to come on that.
I got something in the mail, is that
I saw that too, although I actually didn't, that wasn't from us, but,
town to the village?
yeah, I know. I don't know what that was. So just quickly, I'm gonna do the reports. So for the receiver of taxes for the month of September 2022, town county taxes in the amount of $4,917.31. School taxes received an amount of $27,434,753.68. School collection fee of $230,450.14. Duplicate payments, $32,898.15. Penalties and interest, $1,000.31.22. Liens, $17,175.33. Miscellaneous, $138, for a total received of $27,721,363.83.
Just, again, that 27 million
Yes.
doesn't come to us.
Flies right
It
out
goes
the door.
straight out to the schools.
Yeah.
We're just
It
the
goes in a loop.
receiver, and then
Because
we.
it sounds like they're
Exactly.
becoming a surplus country.
Right. And then just quickly, the two justice reports for the month of August. This is Justice Kagan received an amount of $14,810, and Justice Gardner for the month of August received $47,030. And that is my
I
report.
hate to sound like a broken record, but that goes to the state, most of that money, so we don't get that either. We just
By the
happen to,
villages.
we just happen to be rich one,
For a
at
couple
a
of days.
particular time of the day. Thank you,
I don't know.
Councilwoman.
Isn't that how Venmo works?
We tried to put something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
We act as agent. in
yeah, exactly,
those-
exactly.
That's right.
Councilwoman Curtin on the library.
So, some good updates from the library. There is, last month at their meeting, the trustees nominated, elected, I should say, voted on a new president. So Catherine Campbell is gonna be the new president of the library.
Oh.
And Michelle DeVorkin is the new vice president. Catherine had been the vice president, so now she's the
okay.
president. Terrence, I think his term ends at the end of October, and I
big is that?
say that because he is looking forward to joining us next week at our budget meeting. For
Give
the-
us his last
For the
one.
last time. Also, the board, the trustees of the library, there was a presentation on the firms that gave an RFP for the best, the grant that from Senator Biagi's office, for the best and highest use of the library, and they selected one, and,
Great.
it's really impressive. This firm did work with, the library in Westport, Connecticut,
Okay.
and figured out some stuff for them, so I think everyone's very excited about what might come out of that project for the future of the library. The Friends had their semi-annual Pelham Reads event this past weekend. The book they chose was Flora and Ulysses, and I think that was a success. And then I told you about the seniors. Oh, so SAM funds. I spoke with Senator Biagi's chief of staff today, and she informs me that there are SAM funds available.
Oh, SAM funds, okay.
So those are for capital projects, and as long as we get in a request before the end of the year, we will be considered. And so I think we should probably just review maybe at the budget meeting next week what's possible, especially this building, I think.
We just put in for SAM funds for the constable cause
Okay,
of $120,000 with Amy.
okay.
Dolan.
Yeah, and the person who reviewed it just approved it, actually.
That's
Oh, that's great.
awesome. Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about it at the budget
Oh,
meeting.
thank
Yes.
goodness.
And then I'm going to connect with Molly and Antoinette about maybe doing something to promote dog licenses at the Pelham Market. It goes until the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And I just feel like there was an issue, I don't know if I mentioned this a couple months ago, but a friend of mine, neighbor of mine in town, had an issue with a dog that bit her dog, and the dog wasn't vaccinated and it wasn't licensed. And I think there's a lack of awareness around the need for that. And then
Right,
finally,
and especially because the village of Pelham
yep,
goes through the town
right.
for dog licenses, but Village of Pelham Manor goes through Village
Their
of
own,
Pelham
that's right.
Manor
that's right.
to get dog licenses.
That's right. So this is for village, we could probably do both. We could probably connect with them and offer both if they wanted to help, but, so I'll follow up with that.
That's a good point. Maybe someone should speak to the Village of Pelham to put it on their website that the dog licenses are issued by the town of Pelham. Do we have that on our?
Yeah.
I think it's actually on the village website, too. It's on ours, but I
Yeah.
think it's actually,
Definitely
I
on
think they
ours.
direct
Okay,
people
To
here,
hear,
so-
okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
And then I attended the opening of the new Memorial Field 2 weeks ago.
That's
It
the
was
day
like-
we were having our meeting for the ambulance, so that's why we were not
There,
there.
it was like 90 degrees, but it's a beautiful facility. I was happy to be there. It's all turf and new bleachers and a skate park and tennis courts, and
Skate park, Dan.
it's gonna be, I think it's
exactly
gonna be
what I was
really
looking for.
Me too.
nice when it fully opens. I don't think it's fully opened yet, but they're almost there. That's it.
Do they expect parking? Just a question, where do they expect people to park?
So, you know, there's
When
a
they go to the tiered parking lot that's across the street?
No,
a
at
parking lot
Best
right-
Products, I already said.
Best Buy?
Best Buy.
And there's also a parking lot, I don't know if you noticed it, if there's a parking garage directly across the street, I think that's I wanna say Garden Avenue,
Yeah, I
like you
think
make
it
the
is.
right, into
That's
the.
best, that's best price.
No, that's the next one. This one is.
It's before
It's not
it.
connected. It's
Yeah.
actually quite dark, but maybe they're gonna renovate it. I parked in there when I went. It's not connected to Best Buy. It's directly across the street from the entrance to the stadium.
That's Best Buy, that's Best Buy
Yeah.
parking lot.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Oh, then there's
They-
stairs
they
to
have
go up?
three- Yeah, they have three different, the stairs are right at the corner where the light is.
Oh, wow, it's so dark.
It is,
It's kinda scary.
is.
I was a little scared. It's daytime.
it is. There's
And I
hardly
got out of
anybody-
my car and like all these birds flew. It's like a movie. I was like, but,
It's a three-tier
it's good to
parking
know.
lot.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that. I thought it was
I didn't
somebody
either.
else's.
I know.
It's not well maintained, so
It does look beautiful.
it does, so we'll see. what
They had
happens.
that first football game Friday night, no?
No, it was last Saturday they did a football game against Yonkers, Mount Vernon versus Yonkers.
Oh, it was
It
Saturday.
was kind of a one-off for right now until they really get their whole, the whole
Act
thing
together.
together. But, and then Mount Vernon won. There was a lot of trash talking at the grand opening. Who's gonna win that? Mount Vernon won.
Okay,
And
thank
that's
you.
it. You're welcome.
Okay, so, we need to pass a base proportions for 2022. And the school has already passed it, and I believe you all received it in the mail, in the email. And basically what the school did is, did the 2021
Same amount.
assessment is what they took, and we're going to do the same thing, unless somebody has an issue with that. And if not, I have a resolution to adopt the 2022 adjusted base proportion using the 2001 reference roll pursuant to Article 19 RPTL for the levy of town and school taxes on the 2022 final assessment roll as follows. Town of Pelham Homestead Act, Homestead 81.197685, and non-homestead 18.802315. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed? Thank you very much. Okay. So, if somebody's been on this board a while, they will say to me, why is tree lighting being done in November?
Yep.
Which, in the past, we've done it the first week of December. And the reason that we're suggesting we do it on the 26th is that's when the Chamber of Commerce is gonna do their whole thing,
Okay.
like they did the last time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And they asked us if we would participate,
Okay,
and I thought we should.
okay,
So I'll let the Chamber of Commerce know that we'll be doing the same thing that we did last year, except when the Girl Scouts sing, they gotta wait till I get ready for them to sing.
Everybody else shows up.
I met the rabbi actually in the supermarket over the weekend, and he mentioned to me he'd like to have his ceremony on 12/19. So Molly's got that in her book for this December 19th. I just want to give you some dates of things going on in the town. The Pelham Civic Association is having their dinner dance October 14th, and they're having it at the Surf Club. On the 16th, the Rotary is having their tastings, their wine tasting, and celebrating their 75th anniversary. And that'll be on Sunday, October 16th, from 4 PM to 7 PM. And then the Danny
PCC,
Fund
right?
is, excuse me?
At the PCC, right?
Yes, PCC. And the Danny Fund is having their gala October 22nd at the New York Athletic Club, 7 PM to midnight. So there's a lot of things going on. We had the Tunaville, the Pelham Civics ran the Tunaville. It was a beautiful day.
Oh, gorgeous.
perfect.
Kara ended up working the whole day, getting paid nothing. And you want to talk about it a little?
I've never seen anything run so smoothly. The people, the civics and everyone who volunteered really, really stepped up. The music was a huge hit. Rockwell's did a fantastic job with the food. Captain Lawrence was the
Oh, the brewery?
brewery. A little high priced, but everybody was well behaved. And a lot of fun music, a lot of local bands got to perform, as well as some very, very big names.
It was a beautiful day
It was
weather-wise.
such a
Perfect.
gorgeous day. It wasn't too hot. Nobody was fainting.
Like the year before.
The year before it was a little much hotter, but I thought it went really, really smoothly.
The only issue that I saw the whole day is some young woman left their mother alone for at least a half hour and went looking for, was that you? Oh,
Did you
great,
leave
that
your
was
mom
you.
behind again?
That was you.
My husband was there, but I guess that wasn't good enough.
Does
She
anybody
started
know how many
walking
people
home.
attended? Is there an estimate?
They'll probably talk about that tonight
Tonight.
at the board
Yeah.
meeting. I
But yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I thought it was a fantastic event, and there were people from, not from Pelham. They were from New York City. I saw people getting off the train coming in.
I
know,
think a couple of those bands are pretty, you're right, well-known, because
Yeah.
my cousin
Oh,
in
yeah.
Ardsley said, I think I'm gonna come because I wanna hear Bluff. I said,
Yeah.
you know the band?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, they're
yes.
famous.
The,
I was
the,
like,
la-
"Okay."
the last three
Yeah,
were
fine.
big through the 90s and early 2000s.
So before our time.
All right, ladies, all right, ladies, okay.
After mine. But it was wonderful.
I just received this letter, and it's kind of interesting. Thank you, Kara. That this was discussed at the Pelham Manor meeting the other night. And it's from the Department of Transportation to me, and it says, I'm pleased to inform you that the New York State Department of Transportation has started the design phase on a project to address the existing pavement deficiencies on US Route 1, from Bronx-Westchester County line to the town of Pelham, Village of Pelham Manor, City of New Rochelle Municipal Line in the Village of Pelham Manor. Additionally, existing curb ramps and sidewalks within the project limits will be reconstructed to meet current Americans with Disability Act where applicable. So anyway, it's supposed to start, the boards will be posted 2 to 3 weeks prior to the commencement of the construction activities. Due to the high traffic volume within this corridor, the work is anticipated to be done during the nighttime.
Okay.
Kind of interesting.
No,
That's amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot that needs work.
Well, the one gentleman talked about one particular area that's really bad down by the Hutch
Yeah.
entrance.
Down by the Hutch, and also by OLPH
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
Windward?
Windward.
It's just kind of interesting that I should get this and talk about it at the Manor meeting. Okay, okay, now we open the meeting to public comment. Do we have any public comment? I have a public comment. There's a gentleman here who's here for what reason? No, you stand up, tell us where you're from, who you are.
I'm from Pelham Manor. I'm a member of Troop 1 here in Pelham, and I'm here for the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge. One of the requirements is to sit in on a town board meeting of some kind.
Okay, do you know what the town is made up of?
There we go. It's a quiz, you didn't know you were getting quizzed. Yeah,
I'll give you a hint.
It's complicated.
I'll give you a hint. If you have a town, you have villages.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the whole town's made up of Village Pelham Manor.
Perfect. Okay, and they have their own boards, you know that. What's it, you know the difference between their board and our board? Something that they do that we don't do? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. You see all those cars in the back that have lights on them? What are they?
Dan, this is a lot.
Police. We don't have a police department. We don't have a fire department. The two villages have their own police department and their own fire department. But what we have is the courts. We run the courts. We also run the library. We also run the recreation department. I'm sure you worked for the recreation department, didn't you? Tiny Tots? You never worked Tiny Tots?
Nope, I volunteered at Tunaville, but
Okay, all
I
right.
thought I recognized him.
And we do all the tax collecting. for the school and the villages. But if you heard here, even though we get all that money in, we end up sending it back out. So that's the other thing we do, and we do all tax assessing. What have I missed?
Constables.
Constables.
Tax
The
collecting
courts
boards.
have constables instead of police, but they are officers.
Peace
They're
officers.
peace officers. But based on budget reasons, it's easier and less expensive for us to bring constables in on a 4-hour basis than to have police there on overtime.
Full payroll and stuff.
Any other thing can we enlighten this gentleman about?
We're the oldest town in New York State.
I'm not.
You
Good
didn't
point.
know that, huh?
Good point, yeah, we are the
Yeah.
oldest town in, yeah.
Yep,
And
full of
these-
history.
And these paintings here were all done by a supervisor.
Now, you're one of the 10% of the town that knows what we do.
That understands.
That's a generous number.
Are you going
Yeah.
for your Eagle Scout? You're going for your Eagle Scout?
Yes, that's the plan.
That's the ultimate
Yeah,
goal.
I'm gonna attempt to get it before my junior year of high school.
Okay.
I'm a freshman right now.
Okay,
Awesome.
and you didn't give us your name, so,
Good luck.
Oh, sorry, is that?
your name.
Oh, my name's Logan.
Logan?
Very.
Well, we have a nephew, Logan.
Oh, Logan Constant.
Logan, yeah, you spelled that right.
He's getting in the papers.
Logan, how do you like the high school?
Oh, no, I don't go to
Consistent,
PMHS. I go to Fordham Prep. It's in
Oh,
So how do you
nice,
like the high
nice.
school?
I mean, I haven't necessarily been there a lot, but from what I hear, it's a very nice place.
Do you take the train?
Yes, I do. I take 728.
I hated that train.
So it's
Because
going
all
up.
of you guys were on that train, you were all sitting down. I had to wait till you got off at Fordham to get a seat, and you guys never shut up.
I mean, whenever me and my friends get on the train, we can never get a seat.
There you go.
Well, if you have any other questions or need anything else, please
Yeah.
don't hesitate to,
We should give him that grid that Tom made, that,
Oh, the town
town,
government grid.
show that
Oh.
he can have that.
Yeah.
so he can- I don't know where it is.
I don't have it
Have one
on
right
me.
now.
It's on our
Oh, the one
website,
that you
right?
sent me?
Yeah.
We need to put it up on the website.
Oh, that'd be great,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Molly.
Logan, what,
I'm 15.
15.
it explains in like a grid what the village of Pelham is responsible for, what the village of Pelham Manor is, and what we're responsible for.
And then you can show your father that.
Yeah, because like Ruby said, nobody in town understands it.
And Logan, what's your project going to be for your Eagle Scout?
I'm currently first class, so I have to hit star, then life, and then eagle.
I see.
So I
So
haven't
it's a little
necessarily
ways
thought
away.
about it
Yeah.
too much right now, but I want it to be. I mean, to think in a more general sense, I'd like it to be something that's involved more with the town, or
Sure.
maybe something with the school, something along the lines of more something that'll actually benefit
Make a difference.
The,
like
the
the whole-
community.
the whole the community as a whole.
Right.
Because,
Yeah, we could
No,
probably
we
get
could,
like
Logan,
Just
would-
call us.
come back, we can
Yes.
figure out
We
something.
will brainstorm for you.
Believe me, believe me.
A lot of Eagle Scouts coming out of Troop 1.
Yep.
yeah,
Very impressive.
yeah,
Yes.
that is true actually. At
That's what Henry
I
is.
believe it was either last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago, because we meet in
Community
the
church.
next to the train station. I forget the name.
Community
Christ
church.
Yeah, sorry, community church. We meet there every Thursday night, and we actually had a court of honor recently. It was last Thursday, where we give out like all the merit badges and we recognize different awards, ranks that everyone's achieved over the past couple months. Because our last one was in June, so it took the summer. The Scoutmaster, Mr. Hopper, told us that we had, I think it was about maybe 10 or 12 Eagle Scouts past maybe 12 to 18 months, which is really good.
Incredible.
Yeah,
It is
very
great.
good. Logan, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we hope you learned
Good luck.
something.
Just a little testing.
Okay,
That was gonna be in the paper.
do I have a motion to end the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Dan?
Thank you.
It says executive session, but we're not.
Logan,
we
do you know
are.
Henry Burke?
I do actually.
That's
yeah.
my son.
Oh,
A little bit of a cut up, or I don't know how he does it, Scouts. He takes it seriously though.
I need
The
this.
usual things I get.